We only have 20 minutes, so I'm gonna move through this pretty quick. 20 minutes might seem like a lot, but it's really not. I've been building this custom Lego set for my dad of my childhood home. You can see it looks pretty done, right? We've even got interior in here, and all the wings of the house. And you'd be right, we're on day 81. And so I am down to the instructions, the instruction manual. I already ordered the Lego pieces. Some of them have arrived. We're still waiting on more. As for the time rush here, the rush, I realized I'm wasting precious seconds because I didn't start this beforehand. But I'm doing 20 minutes every day working on this set, and day 81. So exactly how many hours is that? I don't know. Less than, I don't even know actually. But yeah, so we've got 20 minutes every day. Yesterday, we finished separating out each of these steps. Now we have 183 steps. Over the course of these steps, you can see like each one adds some more pieces to the build until we get to the very end. And eventually, by the time we get to the very end, the entire set is built. And let's zoom in over here while we go through the steps quickly. But yeah, and so now we're at the point though of going through the steps, or going through each step, because they each have a page design, but some of them are not that good, like this one. You obviously can't tell what you're supposed to be building. So we need to come through now and fix all these. Like something like that, just enough to where like it'll be me and my dad building it together. Although he'll probably have to take it apart again to take it home. I'll go over why in just a second. But anyway, regardless, we need to make this make sense enough that me and him can put it together. Or else obviously we'd have issues. So let's see. Something like that probably works. Yeah. So hopefully it's not too, hopefully it makes sense. I'm a little bit worried though. Maybe oh, here we go. This lets us rotate. I want to keep this in the same direction as you see in the previous step, if at all possible. So maybe if we rotate one more time. That's interesting. I guess it doesn't let me cut off that part. Just enough to where it actually makes sense what you're doing here. Yeah, like that. That's the same rotation as the previous step. The only issue is then it's a little bit hard to see. Like I know this isn't exactly normal Lego to do that, but what if we did something like that? So you can tell a little more easily that it's in the same position. I don't know. But yeah, so we do this every day, and work on. It's curious if it let me. Oh, interesting. That lets you do that. Okay. But yeah, 20 minutes every day. And I'm doing this ultimately because my dad and I always bonded over Lego. And so I wanted to build him something that kind of honored that shared love of Lego. And I think this would be the best way to do it. The house itself, my parents now live in, this is why I'm saying too many things at once. My parents now live in Hawaii. They sold everything when the youngest kid moved out of the house, this house that I built. And yeah, sold it all and moved to Hawaii. And so this house was the house they raised all of us kids in, though, as our childhood home. And so I wanted to do something that meant a lot to my dad, like a set that meant a lot to my dad. And I think this will be the one because he raises kids there. Like, what's more meaningful than that, So yeah, that's why we're doing this house. That's why we're doing the set, and that's why I gotta kind of hurry. My initial deadline on this thing that I gave myself was Easter because my dad came to town for that. Both my parents did for Easter, or at least close enough that I could drive 2 hours to meet him. But now I missed that deadline. So my next deadline, because it's a much bigger project than I realized going into it, which it's that classic saying of like, if you knew how hard it was going to be before you started, you wouldn't have ever started. I think that very much applies here. So I'm glad I didn't know, but definitely makes it hard to judge how much time I need for things. So now I'm on the phase of let's just do it as quickly as possible so we actually get it done in time. But my next opportunity is actually at my wedding. This June I'll be getting married, and so my dad obviously is coming to town. So I want to have this done by then. So yeah, that's kind of the rush now. So let's keep plowing. Zoom this out just a little bit. That's a little much. I do think this is going to be a little bit hard to build with these instructions. But I think once we got past this part's tough because it's like you don't really know what you're building. Like it's just like just the base, you know what I mean? So you can't really tell like what am I actually trying to build here, you know? But I think if we can just get past this section, I don't think it'll be too bad because then you'll have better context of like here's what we're actually building here. But again, I don't know. I've never done this before, so I'm definitely not your expert by any means. That's kind of what I want this channel to be is like have project after project of just something new. Like it can be related to stuff I've done before. I don't have anything against that, but just making it so yeah, I think that's probably good. But like I like learning the new systems, new software and whatever. I feel like I've always been pretty quick learning software. Um, I'm one of those people that like I'm the one that, you know, everyone calls for tech support or they're like, I'm buying a new laptop or a phone. Which one should I get? I'm the one they're calling, you know. I just get my info from MKBHD, but they don't know that. And so yeah, so whoops, that was way too much. There we go. But all that to say, well, and like literally just before I hopped on here, my fiance is currently doing taxes. I gotta help when I'm done with this, but I just wanted to knock this thing out. But when it's like the I don't know, the magic touch, whatever you want to call it, of like I just have to as soon as I touch it, the computer does what people are wanting to. Like it'll misbehave until I show up, and then when I show up, it does whatever it's supposed to. And it's not like I do anything fancy. Like I literally click the same things they clicked, and it just decides to work. So, yeah, if that gives you any context. But yeah, so I enjoy learning stuff, learning new tech stuff in general. I like 3D printing. I guess it's too zoomed in to see, but I've got my 3D printer back there. So I'll probably do some 3D printing projects, but let me know what you want to see. Ultimately, this channel is for y'all, so let me know what you want to see, and I'll do my best to make it happen. But we could do more Lego, but I kind of want to branch out and try some other things. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do at the moment. Yeah, let me know if that's a terrible idea. Hopefully y'all stick around even if I do that. But yeah, I'm thinking one of the things I've thought about doing is I've done software development stuff, went to school for data plus software stuff, information systems, if anyone knows what that is. And so I already have an app on the App Store. If you want to look it up, it's called Bank Double or Nothing. But it's an app that like lets you play a dice game, um, like a physical dice game. My family loves playing it, and there's an app that like is a good tracker for it and whatever. Well, it's a tracker for it. I wouldn't say it's great. So I was like, you know what? Like my family loved playing this game, so I was like, you know what? I can just remake this app, but then you know fix the things that we don't like about it, and then add whatever fun features. So I made the app, released it on the App Store last year, and we've used it like my family. It's a lot of fun, but I haven't actually. I fixed the things that were bad, but didn't exactly add like a bunch of fun new features that like we talked about, like different game modes, you know. It's kind of a betting game. Like you don't have to put money on it or anything, but you're essentially everyone takes turns rolling. There's a central pot, and you can either, based on the roll you get, it can either double the pot, it can end the round, like close the pot, or it can just add a little bit to the pot. And the only way to get points that like stay is by oh, this one's small. Is by banking. So that's why it's called bank. But you're essentially saying mid round before before the pot gets closed out, mid round you're saying um, basically pull me out of the pot or on whatever points are in the pot, add that to my score, and then I lose out on potential increases, but it secures the points I did get. Um, and so yeah, so it's pretty straightforward game. It's really just like rolling and hoping that someone rolls something good, and but it ends up being a ton of fun. There's just a lot of excitement, you know. I've got a big family too, so you just end up with anything is fun when you've got a lot of people all yelling and shouting and like, you know, like celebrating together and mourning together when it's when someone rolls a seven and destroys the pot before anyone could bank, you know. So yeah, but I want to do a bunch of fun game modes. Like, let's see, like what are some of the ones we talked about? Ones that like get higher in point value. So that's always the most satisfying thing, but it's so hard to get high up in the point value. And so it's like maybe we did do um, two sevens in a row have to be rolled to end the game. Like, because the worst is, I guess that's a different game mode, but like the worst thing is um, when you try to um, the worst thing is when you, why am I blanking now? Oh, get like have a solid game, the pot's getting pretty good, or like maybe the pot's not gonna be pretty good, but it's been a good game, but then um, one person rolls at the very end and it's a seven, closes out the game before anyone has a chance to bank in the last round. Like it's just so anticlimactic. That's the word. Um, because you just like spent this whole game building up, and then on the last round, like it just ends with nothing. Like no big roll, no like betting at all. Just like yeah, ended up with nothing. So I definitely want to fix that, or like not fix that, but make a game mode that kind of mitigates that or reduces the chance of that happening. Why is this doing this? Let's see. Let's go 70%, maybe 75. Um, it doesn't like when I'm zooming out and in like that. Okay. So yeah, something like that where well, that's interesting. What's it doing here? I thought I would split these out, but maybe it doesn't. I mean, it's super straightforward, so I guess we could just I just realized that this isn't actually one solid piece. Oh well. I think people understand what to do with it. Maybe actually we do come back. Um, yeah. Let's actually split that out. Um, like if we release that, yeah, then it's got 5 steps. I like that. So if we come back here, it should literally just have a step that actually tells you how to build it. Yeah, that works better because it's not like the submodels are great for like you put something together and then just place it in. This one, since it's not like this side is not connected to that side, it's definitely better to just build it in spot um, or in place. Okay, versus this one, I guess this one also isn't fully connected. So that's actually going to be an issue too. So let's go back and release that submodel as well. Let's hit save too. I'm a little bit worried because it's starting to lag a good bit. Let's hide that. And then let's release this submodel. Okay. Now if we go back to the instructions, we should be able to see. So yeah, what were we saying? Is this, what was it, maybe step 70-ish? No, earlier than that. What were we talking about again? Something about, okay. Okay, obviously this needs to go before the other one. There we go. Basics and then that, okay. Perfect. Let's just move these to the next step. Yeah, so you're putting the base down and then you're putting the toppings on. This, I think, is going to be the same way. So let's go ahead and release that. Yeah, that works. This one, I think, is a piece, so that's great. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Much better. Let's see, what were we saying? I totally blanked now. Something about... Yeah, I can't remember now. Oh, well. We were talking about doing different projects. And I feel like we were talking about something after that. But at the end of the day, trying to do a variety of projects on this channel. And so, oh, I was talking about the app, coding, game modes. Now I'm caught up. I'm back. So, yeah, just all these game modes, I would like just add more variation to the game, I guess, because we played it so much. I definitely think we got tired of it for a minute. Like we haven't played it a ton recently, just because, again, we did so much of it. Like that was like the only game we played. My family's pretty big. Uh, uh, what do you call it? Board games people when we get together. And so, and honestly, I don't love board games myself, but I do get when you have a ton of people, like variety of ages. I swear, we're at that stage too where like um, everyone's married or getting married soon, and so then you end up with like a lot of kids getting born. So it's like someone's always pregnant too, and so it's like just a lot easier to do board games compared to anything else because you can just um, like you can sit around a table and everyone can play. It doesn't matter what age you are or anything like that. Um, and so, especially with bank, because you just have to roll a dice and then someone just hits the number on the app and it does all the calculating for you. Um, okay, this one I was kind of thinking it would do. I guess you can kind of see all the pieces there. There's only one hidden, but you can kind of assume where it's at. So I think that's actually good enough. I was thinking it'd split it into more than one step. Like same with this one, almost like, do we kind of thinking I just release the submodel because it's not actually showing you how to build it anyway. Yeah, like, yeah, there we go. Might as well just take that out. Okay, and then we've got this one. I guess that's a good view because then you can really see all the pieces. Yeah, I do like that. And then this one, you're putting together the window. Perfect. Yeah, that does show you put the two pieces on, so that's good. Okay, that's great. So yeah, that project would be a fun one. That app, Bank Double or Nothing, would be a good one to just do some coding. I don't know how that would work with like the whole on-screen thing like this. Maybe we wouldn't do that honestly. Maybe it would just be like weekly updates kind of vibe. Um, okay, these these steps do not make any sense. Um, let's actually go ahead and I think we can edit that. Yeah, here we go. So really it should be Like, let's build from the bottom up. I think that makes sense. Oh, is this another one where oh, no. No, it is. Dang it. Another one where it doesn't actually, like, is there anything that goes across? No. At least we can, here, watch this. If we turn those 90 degrees, then we should be good. And we don't even have to get different pieces for it than the ones we've ordered. So that's a plus. So yeah, let's just turn these 90 degrees. That's it. Just get this last piece done. But yeah, so I don't know. I think that'd be a fun one though, because we could have some really cool game modes that y'all come up with and that we put in the app. And then it's also fun because then you can actually just download it. It's free, no ads, no payments. I'll probably add like cosmetics or something. So it's like I want to be able to make sure that everyone can play the base game for free without annoying ads. But I also, obviously, it costs money just to have it on the App Store. And so I need some way to make that not just be a drain on my bank account constantly. It's not huge, but it's like leaving it up for a long period of time just drains the bank account slowly. So I'd probably do something. Or maybe I just literally have like a donate button because it's like you don't need much to make the apps self-sustain. I think it's like, I don't know. I guess probably between you have to have a website. That's the stupid thing with the App Store. You have to have a website in order to have an app on the App Store. And then you have to pay the $120 a year fee to Apple. Um, and so it ends up being between those two things. I mean, it's probably 20, is it really $20 a month? That sounds terrible when I say that out loud, but it might be $20 a month to just keep it on the App Store. So if I had a donate button where people could just choose to do a little, I think that'd be enough to make it work. Okay, let's change the order of these real quick. So really we're trying to go for these and then these cross ones. And then we can throw all these on the bottom. And then, actually, let's get rid of that. And here, okay, so we probably want these all after we do the base. So you like put on those cross to keep it stable. And then I guess this needs to go near the end. We're putting those on to help stabilize more. Put the feet on. And then we need to do both of these, or I guess all three of these, before we can actually use this one. Okay, so then we put those on, and that's kind of the finishing touch to lock it all in. Or actually, let's do that. That'll lock it in. Okay, I like that. That should do it. Although I guess if it's all in the same step, it doesn't actually show you how. That's all right. I think it's simple enough. Okay, maybe we need a little bit of step separation at the very least to show like what's going on underneath. Yeah, that works. We can actually move these to the step after as well. Okay. That should work, right? Yeah. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about that idea though of doing the programming one. I think it'd be a fun one for y'all to mess with. Get to play with it yourself. Give me feedback on what you like and don't. There's I do follow a lot of like indie game developers and other software people, YouTubers, and they do make sick videos. But I feel like they're all really good at editing, and I haven't done a ton of editing. So if that's what makes or breaks those videos, they might just be broken if I make them. So we'll have to see. How do oh yeah, rotate. There we go. I just need you to be able to see those three. And then that should work. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And you plop it in. Perfect. All right. Well, we're making progress. At this pace, we probably have one, maybe two more, probably 2 more days of this portion of it before we get on to designing the box, which I'm excited about. And then we actually got to order a couple miscellaneous pieces. So we'll do that later. But see y'all tomorrow.